Hi, Mike Takovich from Antler Assassins TV. I've gotten a few questions, and I've heard this question asked many times, and it's that, why am I not seeing any bucks? Why am I not seeing any deer? Is it a problem with my property? Is it a problem with my scent? Is it, whatever the factors may be that you think is the problem? Here's probably what is going on, and it's called the lockdown phase. We're in mid to the end of November, and what the lockdown phase essentially is you got a lot of does and estrus out there. The bucks are making their way into where the doe live. You don't have bucks milling around. People aren't seeing bucks in the field or their normal routes because they're in there trying to find, they're basically bedded down with the does. Once you start to break out of the lockdown phase of the rut, those bucks will start to make their way back to their normal routes, back to their food sources. The older bucks don't tend to wear themselves out as much as the younger bucks, and will probably continue with rutting activity on through the end of the month. Right around the 25th, 26th, you'll start to break out of that lockdown phase. You'll start to find your bigger bucks more into the food plots. So if you sit over your clover plots or your sorghum, wheatgrass, whatever it is you use for food plot, chances are that's going to be your meal ticket. If you don't have the food plot, best thing that I could recommend is to find an area of green, palatable food source that they can forage in and hunt that area. Now, for those guys that are out there hunting expecting to see that frenzy of the early stages of the rut, you're probably not going to see that because the rut is pretty much over. We're into the late stage. Most of the Midwest it'll be over, and most parts of the country it'll be over. It's important to get out there and hunt those food plots. Those deer have been running all month. They haven't really focused on eating because they've been focused on trying to breed doe. So on those food plots, look for your younger bucks to start moving in, your older bucks to start getting back on their feet, and overall increase in activity, but not the activity that you would normally see during the rut. And keep in mind that hunting the rut isn't a sure thing. People think that just because the rut is on, they're going to go out there and kill a monster Boone and Crockett whitetail. And you got to put in the time. Mornings can be tough this time of year. Towards the end of November, seems that bucks will make their way back into their bedding area. They feed all night. They make their way back into the area where they bed down, usually even before the sun comes up, which can make hunting the morning sometimes useless. So midday to late evening to right before dark are great times to get out there towards the end of November. But a combination of all those factors of the bucks trying to breed doe, or the bucks bedding down with the doe, and it's not uncommon for a buck to bed down for 3 days with a doe, and then move on to the next. So if you're out there and you're not seeing deer, there's probably not a problem with your property. It's just what deer do, and it happens in every part of the country, and I know it can get discouraging, but if you're out there enough, you will make it happen. So just a quick recap. Out of the lockdown phase of the rut, get out there, hunt your food plots. Don't be afraid to put in the time. Don't be afraid to hunt in the rain. Don't be afraid to hunt in the snow. We have a lot of hunting season here in Michigan. Those bucks eventually are going to make their way back into their normal routines. They're going to make their way back into their normal routes. And if you're out there enough and you put in the time, eventually you're going to make something happen. Again, I'm Mike Takovich, Antler Assassins TV. You can visit us at antlerassassins.tv.com or at Antler Assassins TV on Facebook, or at Antler Assassins _TV_Mike on Instagram. And here's to a successful rest of the hunting season for all you out there. Get in the hunt.